Alright, we are going to start today by installing a temperature sensor in the habitat so we can monitor the temperature of the van. Right now we have two temperature sensors already. We have one that's thermostatically controlled, which means when it's hot, it's right there where those two green zip ties are. That's the probe. Plugs in over here. When the batteries get hot, or when the battery box gets hot, this fan turns on, pulls air in. That fan turns on, pulls air out. We also have a temperature gauge on top of the van for the exterior. Might do a little bit of work on that today. And so we want one on the habitat. And then I want one on the heat plate exchanger, that looks like that, so that we can get a good idea of how hot or cold the coolant is for the hydronic system. Okay, let's get to it. This is the Cerbo GX, and the temperature probes plug into this terminal block with the T on it. I used a paint pen to put the T on it, that way I can see the front and back. Facing forward, the red lines go in the front and the black lines go in the back. So those are your positive and negative leads. And there's tiny ferrules on there, which may or may not work for your application. They come with ferrules, so if you can use the stock ones, that's great. If not, put your own on or don't use them. Just make sure they're secure no matter what you do. Okay, going into our settings here, we're in I/O, analog inputs, and we turned on the toggle for the temperature sensor. If I'm going too fast, just press pause and then the left hand arrow on your keyboard to go back if you're on a computer. Okay, now we're in our device list. We can go to our temperature probe, choose the type. Those are the types you can choose from. This one's set to outdoor. We can see our voltage. All that looks good. Temperature looks good. We can name it there in this section. So just calling it what it is. Outside air temp. Going back to our device list, we can click on levels, environment, and this is where we're going to see all our temperature gauges. So device type is reflective of the scale on your gauge. So outside air will go from 140 to -40. Inside air will have a different scale. Refrigerator will have a different scale. It kind of matches its use case. Okay, let's do this on the physical device. We're going to do the same workflow we just saw from the remote console. So we are in our settings menu and we're scrolling down to look for I/O. And this is more representative of a real world speed. So here we can turn our toggle on for our new gauge, which is number 3. Now we go back, scroll up. It's going to show up in the device list now. Now we can scroll down, look for that generic temperature input, and now we can set it up. Okay, voltage looks good, scale looks good, the type is battery. This isn't for a battery, so let's choose something that makes more sense. It's a room. Okay, this is going to be the habitat. It's not our setup where we add it. Go to devices, custom name, and then type your name in. Do this right on the on-screen keyboard. However, if you have your remote portal set up, that may work better for you. Okay, just going back here so that we can see the levels. Now we can see that probe showing up. So that's what we want to see. That's how it should work. And we are ready to go to the next one. All right, so we're going to fabricate a case for one of these Victron temperature probes. This is the one that mounts on the Cerbo GX. They make different types of probes, and you got to use the Victron ones. So what's happening is I have a probe like this, and it's mounted on extruded aluminum on the roof of the Sprinter, and in the sun it'll read like 20 degrees higher than other temperature probes. So we want to get a more accurate temperature reading of the air temperature, not solar radiation directly. And so we're going to nest that in this pipe so it's got some shade from the solar radiation. And we're getting more of a accurate air temperature reading. So to do that, This is old scrap pipe, so we'll cut here, 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 and then drill some holes for some zip tie attachments. Let's get started. This is what we have now, and I think it's reading high because it's sensor's touching this metal, which is aluminum.
Okay, now that we're on the roof of the van, we can go ahead and insert this probe into its PVC insulator, thread our zip ties through the eyelet of the metal attachment, just like we're threading a needle. And then we can just attach this to the Series 10 aluminum extrusion that makes up the framing of the roof rack. Clip all these ties off so that it is clean as a whistle. Look at it on both sides, make sure it's exposed to air, and we are good to go. Now we're going to move to the electrical run we're going to do for the temperature probe that's going on the glycol side for the heat exchanger in the engine bay, which exchanges heat from the glycol loop for the engine and the glycol loop for the hydronic system, which heats air, water, and the floor in the van. So first things first, we're using some marine grade wiring, and we have soldered our connection into the probe on one side, and on the other side we are going without ferrule protection straight into the cleat, because those little wires are going to hold better with that little thicker gauge than if they're protected by ferrules. We have turned our temperature input in from our I/O settings menu, just as we've done with our last three. This will show up on the device list now, and we can go ahead and go in and configure this device. It's starting out as a generic input. We are not seeing a temperature though, so that's an issue we are going to need to troubleshoot. And what can happen is you can have a wire causing a short. So in this case, one of the positive wires was touching one of the negative wires, and that is one of the reasons that ferrules can be really helpful, is they can keep your positive and negative conductors separated. And if you have your positive and negatives separated on your temperature probes, you will not have a short. So we haven't figured that out yet. We're still trying to troubleshoot. So we're going back into our menu, verifying we have no voltage. And but while we're in here, we can go ahead and choose a different setting that works for us before we actually figure out what's going on and fix the problem. All right, so we're going to name this probe what it is, and then we're going to fix it. I'm not going to show that on screen because I didn't get it on video, but I described that it was a wiring issue at the terminal block, so we've checked that box. I also want to show you where the sensor's at on this side. So you see that white line? That is the area that the glycol heat exchanger is in. And that's me spilling some glycol that I cleaned up responsibly. So that's the heat exchanger right there where this temperature probe's at. Okay. Let's end with some fun to know information. So in your advanced device list, you can turn on the widget for your terminal probes. That's what we just did. And once that's done, you can click on one of your terminals. So this is a glycol in the engine bay. And we can see the float is between 53F and the mid 80s, low 80s for today. But if we switch the view to a 30-day view, we can see the temperature float between the low 50s and the like 120s. And that shows exactly when the van was driven and what the fluid temperature was at those 2 points in time. So that's kind of cool. Okay, in any case, that is all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. We will see you around.